Seismic Dance Event Day 2. I'm here with someone very special, the one and only Joplyn, who just played the Tsunami stage.
Yes,
thank you for
how are
being
you?
Here.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for being here.
Of course.
Is this your first time to Texas, Austin?
First time in Texas. Yeah, I was in LA yesterday, did a show there, then literally went to bed for an hour, and then
the whole those memes where they show the people bouncing.
The DJs, exactly. It's like you just. My ring's been telling me like go the fuck to bed.
Oh, what's this? What's this? Oh,
it's like a Fitbit I was wearing.
Okay. Do you monitor all that? You're making sure.
I kind of do it, but I think it's maybe a little counterproductive even because I feel like my ring's been telling me that I'm supposed to feel bad based on my body stats, and that's making me feel worse. I think that if I had just
it's in your head now.
Yeah. This ring has taken over my life now. It's controlling me. Yeah, well, it's intense. Yes.
Well, you would never guess.
Back to the topic.
You would never guess though from watching your set because you just have all this energy.
I know, but I get energized as soon as I go on stage. I see the people. Like I feel like I give them energy. They give me energy. And no matter how tired I am, like I can always get up there and be 100% awake again. And it was cold, so I think that's also why I was kind of awake because I was like this.
Yeah. So were you prepared for that? I mean, yesterday it was kind of crazy. It was with the wind and all that.
I heard.
Yeah.
So we're kind of lucky today, right?
You played the sunset.
Yeah.
Which was very magical.
And so magical.
So I was on there. It's almost like spiritual. I feel like when you're playing that sunset, you kind of get in that zone. And then
I know. I'm always in that zone. It's such a special zone.
Well, let's talk about that. So what does that zone look like for you? Because for someone that hasn't seen you, you're playing a live set.
Yes.
They're not just decorations. I was joking up there. I was like, look at all this decoration.
I actually DJ.
She actually DJs.
Yeah, it's all decoration.
So tell someone tell someone that's never seen you, that's maybe watching this for the first time about yourself.
Well, my live set is very heavily inspired definitely by DJ culture, DJ set. I used to DJ before I ever played live. So the beat never stops. I do transitions. I use the DJ mixer, like the Pioneer DJM 900 Nexus 2 for all the nerds who want to know.
That's a note, yeah.
Then I have a keyboard and a vocoder. On the keyboard I play synths. On the vocoder I can play my voice obviously. Then I have like an effects pedal for my voice because I love messing around with my voice because that's my main instrument.
So she's actually singing.
Yeah. Sorry, I forget.
No, it's okay. No, because that's like you said, it's very rare.
Yes, no, you're right.
To see someone do that.
People. Exactly. So yeah, I do electronic music but with vocals. And I use my voice as like my main instrument. So I also use the Pioneer, like the mixer effects to like the stutter effect is my favorite one, for example. The
I heard that,
It's the best. I love it. And then I have Abelton running on my computer and a little APC so I can trigger, different songs, different stems. The way I do it is I like to kind of build my songs up and take the crowd on that journey that I went on when I was making the song in the studio, on the exact paths.
I got goosebumps.
That's
really cool.
I think it's super interesting because not many people so often you're presented the song on a golden platter, and I think for me personally also it's the most interesting which elements really go together and work so cohesively to make it what it is. So I isolate all the different elements and then kind of add them together to build up the songs. Yeah. And what I also love doing is doing little jam sessions. So basically in my live set, there's the songs, there's the building up of the songs, and then there's little jam sessions that I sprinkle in where I just put in a bunch of random loops that maybe I found the day before somewhere on Splice.
Wow.
And then I kind of, because I'm in that state that we were talking about live, which that's not really replicable in the studio. Mm-hmm. And I kind of want to challenge myself to write something on the spot or jam something on the spot. So I'll jam on the keys, jam with the loops, trigger stuff, and I'll jam with my vocals. And so many songs I've actually written on stage because that state of mind, that moment when you're just, feeding off of the energy of the crowd, but also hearing your music over loudspeakers, seeing the immediate reactions of the crowd. Wow. It's just so unique. So that's nowadays one of my favorite ways to actually be creative on stage.
It's very unique. So what's a song that's come from one of those types of moments that you've had on stage?
I Won't Stay, for example. That's actually one of my biggest ones. Not the whole thing, but the entire bridge, which I think is the most special part of the song. I was playing the song, for probably a year. And then at some point I listened back to the recording of the song. Because I never do that because I hear my music every weekend anyway, so I would never really listen to it, when I'm not doing anything connected to it. And then I was like, wait, something's missing. But I couldn't put my finger on it yet. And then I listened over and over again, and then I played it live the next week, and I was like, wait, in the course of that year, I had written this completely new part that was never recorded, that I had just been singing every single time live, and it stood the test of time. So then I like went into the studio immediately and recorded it. And like, if you actually listen closely enough, you can hear that the vocals and the bridge are a year older than the other one, so they sound a little different because my voice changed a lot during that year. So yeah, that's one of the songs, for example.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
And so I've heard you got a new album coming out.
Can
we talk about
yes.
that? Oh, it's out now.
It's out. I released it last week, which was exciting.
Okay, so tell us about that album versus some of your previous music. What is the new listener going to be experiencing in this particular album versus previous ones?
So the album is called Sant Jordi, which is a neighborhood in Ibiza. And the reason why it's called Sant Jordi is because I actually went to Ibiza this January and February to make it specifically. So I was super inspired because I was watching the Beatles documentary during that time.
Wow.
And I did 2 months of just hyper-focused creative work where I was in the studio every single day, writing, producing, recording, everything. I got COVID in between, of course, so that kind of delayed the whole thing. But I did end up making it. And that's where the album gets its name and also inspiration from, because I love being inspired, throwing myself into new places and then being inspired, by those places.
Right.
But if I had sound wise, it's definitely a lot bigger, a lot more festival inspired, I think. Moving a little out of the club, even though I still love the club. It's just, I felt like doing that January, February. Since then, I've been making new stuff that's moving back into the club again. Mm-hmm. But that album specifically is definitely more, I always like to use the word melancholia. That's kind of what I had in mind. Yeah, it's
Is that a name that I've never heard that word before.
I don't know if I don't think I invented it.
We're gonna brand it as that's a Joplyn.
So I'm gonna do the
trademarking it. We're copywriting it. Don't anyone.
You got it. Okay. Are you gonna be my lawyer?
I will.
Now?
I got you. I got you, girl.
Nice. So we're a good team.
Yeah.
Melancholic-euphoria, and I think that kind of describes it. It's dark, rough beats, club beats against, kind of the more fragile, more melodic vocals, and I love playing around with that contrast. I think it's cool.
Amazing. So where is some place? So you mentioned, like you said, being inspired by the setting. Where's kind of your dream? If you could go anywhere in the world, what would be a place that you'd want to go to create music?
To be honest, I don't think I've seen enough of the world or know enough about it.
Maybe it's a climate that you like
definitely
beach,
warm.
Mountains. Okay.
It's definitely, that's also the official reason I went to Ibiza was for the album. The unofficial reason was just because I wanted to escape the Berlin winter. Let's be honest.
It's a good excuse. I'd be like, I'm sorry.
It's a work trip. I'm sorry.
Vitamin D. I need to work on my health, mental health.
No, really, because I feel like Berlin goes into full-on depression mode for 3 months a year or even longer, where it's just dark. You see the sun for an hour a day, and everyone's just annoying.
That's why they're inside making dark techno.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, but I'm not about that life anymore. I was
anymore. So was that
was definitely,
inspired?
I was definitely super inspired by Berlin growing up. I think that's where the electronic music influence definitely came from. But actually, the next album, I just booked my place, is going to be made in Silverlake in LA. So
that's actually where Tame Impala made one of his last album. He made it there.
Okay, no pressure.
Very cool. No pressure. But like you said, so as someone who plays all the instruments, and that was a very inspiring place. So just a little fun fact, you just did that there, but very cool. So what's next for you?
Well, immediately next is definitely Orlando tomorrow, which is going to be fun because this is my second U.S. tour, right? It's I've never really I've never played in the U.S.
Wow.
Never been to Texas. So yeah, this is still all very new, very exciting for me. Mm-hmm. And gonna go to Florida for the first time in my life tomorrow.
I like you're picking. So. Hopefully, Florida has better weather for you.
Yeah, it's gonna be super warm. But then I go to New York, and that's freezing. Mm-hmm. So, don't know about that. I also, because my live stuff takes up so much room, I have this much space for clothes. So I'm not prepared for New York whatsoever. But I'm just gonna see. A New Yorker never gets cold, and
no,
New Yorkers
never get cold.
So yeah, that's immediately next. But I mean, I just want to get back into the studio because this whole summer I've been on the road every single weekend. I counted the other day, I was at home in Berlin 4 weekends this year, which isn't a lot. And because I've also made so many new experiences and gotten so many new impressions to kind of process. and I feel it like bubbling inside of me that's just waiting to get out. And like the other week, like I was in Berlin for 10 days or something, and in those 10 days I actually made 6 songs because I'm just pumping them out because I'm like, I don't know, I haven't really gotten the chance, so it's much more, I value it much more nowadays, the time in the studio.
Wow.
And yeah, so that's like my plans for the next few months. I want to take it easier, and just work on some new music. And then, I mean, I've been working on so many new things already that I get to road test now every single time that I play, and it's just the best feeling. Like,
so are you kind of pacing? I know, like you said, I feel like there's so much to juggle too as an artist. Like you said, you have this, you want to go express and create and produce, but yet you also want to tour and show all these things. So how do you kind of balance that? How do you juggle that?
No sleep.
You do the bounce. Or you bounce off the bed and you go back in.
No.
Got it.
No, not at
all. So you got to figure it out.
I honestly don't know. Like, I feel like I just take it day by day at this point, which was kind of weird because it was actually my birthday yesterday.
Oh my gosh. So, everyone, we have to wish her a happy birthday. And we have to sing her happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yes.
That's so cute. So yeah, for my birthday, I was like, okay, today I'm just not going to work, which I ended up doing interviews, but that's not really working, I guess. And it felt so weird because that was the first day I feel like this year where I didn't have anything like burning that needed to be done. Like, it was like I had stuff that I could do, but I didn't have to. And it almost stressed me out even more because I was like, there must be something I'm forgetting about.
Right.
So the way I'm definitely not the one to talk to. I'm very unorganized. I like see stuff pop up and then I just go and like work. I am very German and very like meticulous in my to-do list. Like, I will even time them and be like, okay, by 3 p.m. like you need to be done with that and blah blah. But yeah,
amazing.
No real recipe.
Well, something that's signature to Enter Gray Area is a rapid fire kind of question. So I'm going to ask you, is that okay? We're going to, of course, ask you some quick fire questions and you just kind of say the first thing that kind of comes to your mind. Are you ready?
Excited. I'm ready. I'm scared.
Should be. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
No, I'm totally kidding.
I got it.
I'm totally kidding.
You got them on your iMessage. I love that.
I'm a Texan with some sarcasm. All right, here we go. If I looked at your recently played songs on Spotify, what would you want to hide?
Shit, you said quick, right? I'm really into German, like really old school. The thing is, I'm not historically educated enough to know exactly what time they're from, but like old, in German it's called Madrigal. Like, they made it in the Middle Ages when, music was just becoming, secular. It was still like very, very church inspired. And I actually, like, years ago in school, we had that in music class, like that whole period of time. And it kind of stuck with me, and I like listened to them to kind of calm myself down. It's like really, really old, way before classical music, way before the Renaissance. It was like, I don't know which genre.
I'm not gonna go research this. I don't know if I'd want to hide that. That sounds like something that's,
I guess,
kind of part of your foundation.
It is. I did try to like incorporate like one of those songs into one of my own songs as like an intro a couple of years ago, where I like took the lyrics, wrote new lyrics and everything. So I am definitely inspired by that whole like choral, like old like harmonic like music.
Amazing.
And yeah, it just calms me down.
Awesome. All right, what is your favorite I think we just answered this actually. I was gonna say your favorite old school kind of song.
That takes the definition of old school to a whole different
you're like
level.
Yeah. If you weren't a musician, what would you be?
So many things. I mean, the thing is, it sounds a little cocky, but I already don't see myself as a musician because I feel like I do so much. Like, I've been working on animations these last few months for the album. Wow. I edit all of my own videos. I love doing photography. I love painting. Like, I just love anything creative and like to expressive, I guess. So maybe I just be maybe even like a YouTuber or something, because I feel like that combines it. I love
queen of all trades. They say jack of all trades, you're queen of all trades. All right, we talked about festival or intimate club.
Festival. I just love festivals. Ever since I've been to San Francisco Outside Lands, you can't take me back.
I love Outside Lands. If you've never been Outside Lands, it's just a magical place.
It's so magical. It was my first time getting picked up in one of those like golf carts that I know you guys have here too, but for me it was like a big thing. And then I don't know. I saw one of my favorite bands, I saw the Parcels live when I was there, and I loved them so much.
Me too.
And I was so jet lagged that festival, so I slept after my set for 4 hours, and I woke up just to see the Parcels. So I didn't see that much of the festival, but the energy is so.
It's
just
a beautiful,
beautiful,
it's a
right?
truly beautiful festival.
Yeah,
I love
no,
that.
for sure.
It's definitely it's fun fact. I went there as thinking it was like a Coachella. I'd never been to California before, and I went to California thinking it was freezing, so I had to go buy like a whole new wardrobe because I showed up like in my little.
Same. I was
pseudo
like San
Coachella.
Francisco. That's California. It's probably hot. That's exactly what I thought.
Okay, so we're the same but different.
But that's the same thing I thought coming here because I was like, Texas is hot.
It's hot. Oh
And
no!
Look at
You
me.
get all four seasons in one day. All right, what's the weirdest thing you've ever brought to the club or seen someone bring to the club?
Oh my God. Maybe a pet? I feel like I've
Pet?
seen pets in the club, but I don't know if that's like
That's a
necessarily
pretty odd thing.
weird. I just felt a little bad, you know?
Yeah.
Like imagine.
My dog could never.
Nah.
What sound or noise do you love?
The quiet.
So nothing. It's interesting. So
Nothing.
it's with the artists that I know. It's so interesting when they're leaving the club. Everyone's always in silence.
Yeah, because it's you listen to music every single day, and then also during the night when you're performing, and like what I'm really bummed about is I feel like no artist can do this, but like we can't listen to music as any normal person would anymore. Like we're always in this like analytical mode, and it's kind of like exhausting almost to listen to music.
Sama did that yesterday. Sama Abduhadi.
Yeah.
I said something and she just started looping it in her head. She started saying it over and over again. She's like, I'm sorry, now I'm thinking of a song.
Yeah,
So it's like you said,
exactly.
it sounds
It's
like
like
you can't
everything's
really turn
just
it off.
notes and like, harmonies, melodies. It's crazy.
so
It's cool
crazy.
too, but like sometimes I wish I could just zoom out and
Yeah.
enjoy it. I mean, I do still enjoy it, obviously, but
Okay, this is a fun one. Would you rather never hear your favorite song again or be forced to play your least favorite song in every set you play forever?
never hear my favorite song again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What's worse, random people who you haven't spoken to in years hitting you up for guest list or a hangnail?
Probably hanging out.
Okay.
Because guest list is, for example, if I'm in Orlando, I don't know anyone in Orlando. Like,
True.
I actually, someone just texted me on Instagram. They were like, do you still have guest lists? And I just gave them guest lists because,
Wow, that's the secret. So you're going to get all these DMs
Oh my God,
now.
shit.
Look what
I
you
opened
did.
up a whole-
We might have to edit that out because you did that to
Please.
yourself.
I actually don't do my DMs anymore myself, though, because it ended up stressing me out. So
Aw.
that's my manager's problem.
Perfect. All right. And last but not least, I love music because.
I love music because it's the only universal language that everyone can understand, no matter, the culture, the upbringing, the location. Like, it's just, I feel like it unites us all, especially in these times where there's definitely, a lot of sticking together and unity needed. So
Amazing.
that's what I think is the most beautiful about
Thank
it.
you so much for being here. And
Thank you.
Excited to see you. Hopefully see you more around the U.S.
Yes, please.
So we
I want to
will
move here at some point.
She said
You'll
it.
see me. You'll see me
All
around.
right. If you ever come to Austin, I
will.
got you.
I will.
All right. Well, thank you so
I
much for
really
being
want to go eat some really good barbecue. I feel like that's what you need to do in Texas,
You
right?
do. Yeah.
Yeah.
We know someone who. There you go.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna
Terrified.
need to write that down. That's like, how come we're in Texas and we don't have time to eat barbecue?
Exactly. Well, thank you
Next
so much for
time.
being here.
Thank
and
you.
Again, make sure how can people find you?
It's Joplyn, Joplyn on Spotify and co. And then on Instagram, it's Joplyn Berlin. So Joplyn and then Berlin.
Awesome.
That's me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Woo! Cheers.